Hi guys, it's Kseng. I just spilled my tea all over myself. Hi guys, it's Ksenia. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, this is going to be another declutter video. This is not my third, actually no, it's my fourth declutter video that I've done like this year alone. Honestly, that I've done in like the past 2 months. I have gotten rid of, I think at this point, it's probably almost 100 perfumes out of my collection. I know I said in my last video or I don't know if I said it, but that was kind of like my mindset that was like it for me. Like I was done decluttering. I was good with where I was. I have been just decluttering in every area of my life, like every room in my house. I'm just in like this mood where I just want to get rid of everything. It's so relieving when you get rid of stuff because you don't even think about it, but things like stuff, random things actually like hold you down. So the reason for this very unplanned declutter basically started yesterday because I was cleaning around my beauty room and I was getting rid of some makeup. Actually, that is another area where I have a really hard time getting rid of things, but I was getting rid of some things and I was looking over to my perfume collection and I'm like, it still looks a little cluttered, and I hadn't actually counted how many perfumes I had. I kind of just estimated that I had 200 because that sounds like an insane number of perfumes. But after doing these declutters, I realized that I had well over 300 perfumes. And that is just not okay. I mean, you do you. You can have as many scents as you want, whatever. But I'm one person. Why do I need 300 perfumes? I did hold on to a lot of those scents because I review perfumes. If I didn't, I'd probably not have this many, obviously. But then I thought to myself, it's a new year. I'm probably gonna buy more perfumes. I've already done perfume videos on most of the perfumes that I have and I've reviewed them and everything. So I was like, why am I holding on to scents just for the sake of possibly making videos in the future? Like I've already done videos on these and they're just scents that I don't love. That was the case with the first 2 declutter videos that I did. And this declutter, I feel like where I'm at right now in my perfume collection after getting rid of these is like I straight up love almost every single one of these. There may be one that I'm like, I'm still testing out. But at this point, the perfumes that I'm getting rid of that I'm going to share with you guys, I don't hate any one of these. I bought them and I had them in my collection for a good amount of time for a reason, because I did really like them at one point. But just like clothes, just like makeup, you just grow out of things. You end up not liking things. And honestly, for the pure purpose of downsizing, I just really wanted to be strict on myself and just do another declutter. My goal was to hit 200 perfumes, and I am happy to say that after this declutter, I am literally, I think I'm at like 199 now, which I'm super proud of. I think I might be like barely at 200, but I know that I'm not over 200 because I did go in and count literally every single one of my perfumes. And yeah, that just makes me really happy because just knowing the fact that I was at over 300 perfumes at some point makes me sick. So all of that to say, none of these perfumes I'm going to say anything bad about, but of course I'm gonna go into each one and tell you guys like specific reasons why I'm getting rid of each one. As per usual, you guys know the drill by now. These are all gonna be listed on my Mercari. My Mercari will be the first link that's gonna be in my description if you guys are interested in buying any of these. I know I've gotten really good feedback from some of you guys that have bought from me, so thank you so much for that. But maybe somebody can give them the love that they deserve, because truthfully they are really good scents. If you are thinking of purchasing any of these are all brand new scents. They may have been sprayed 2 to 3 times max, and like that's it. Like they are full to the brim. All right, so with all that being said, before we get into this video, please make sure that you're subscribed to my channel and turn post notifications on. I will emphasize the post notifications on. I've actually been getting a few comments of people telling me that they're not getting my notifications, so please make sure that that notification is on. Let's get started. So I'm actually getting rid of a lot of celebrity perfumes in this video, but before I get into the celebrity perfumes, I think I'm gonna go into the more high-end perfumes that I'm getting rid of first. It kind of pains me to part ways with this guy, but there's a very good reason why I'm getting rid of it, and that is because I just don't really love this scent. It's not really my scent, and to be completely honest, the reason why I held onto it for so long was purely because of this stunning packaging that this has. I believe this is like a collector's packaging. So this is the Jean Paul Gaultier Classique fragrance. This is the Eau de Parfum. They have the original packaging of this, which I think is just like a lace outfit and it's like more nude. And in 2017, they came out with this collector's packaging and it's so beautiful. It's like lingerie sort of themed. There's literally like a corset in the back. It's just stunning. Like the packaging is truly what made me hold on to this fragrance for so long. But that's just not a good enough reason to have a fragrance in your collection just collecting dust. So for that reason, I am going to be putting this up for sale, so maybe one of you guys can give this a love, because it is a really good scent. It's just not my scent taste, if that makes sense. I think the name of this kind of perfectly describes it, Classique. It is a very classic fragrance. There's also a lot of sweetness, which I do really love. It kind of gives me almost vibes to Love Don't Be Shy slightly, but Love Don't Be Shy a little bit more on the floral side, not as sweet. And you get rum in this, so it has a little bit of a boozy vibe. There is some florals, obviously. You get rose, orchid, narcissus, and then you get vanilla, amber, tonka bean, and sandalwood in the base. So it's a really well-rounded, complex scent. I think it's really nice. It's just not for me, and that's really it. I will tell you though, this stuff lasts. If you're one of those people that really looks for longevity in a fragrance, this is it. This is another fragrance that pains me to get rid of, but this, just like the Jean Paul Gaultier Classique, is another one that I've purely held on to because of the stunning packaging, and I still don't want to get rid of it, but there's no reason. Like, I need to be strict and actually keep perfumes that I'm using, not just because I think they look pretty. Like, that's just such a waste. So I'm parting ways with Aura by Thierry Mugler. Now, this isn't the EDP Aura, this is the EDT Aura. So the EDP Aura, I've heard a lot of mixed reviews. It's a very polarizing scent. A lot of people say it smells like lawn clippings, like it's just way too green. You either love it or you hate it type of deal with that fragrance, which is very true to all Thierry Mugler fragrances because they are so unique. But this one I did find to be very crowd pleasing. Like, this one is super, super nice. It's a lot more tame than the original. It's a lot fruitier. It's not as green. It still has a green vibe, but it's very wearable. Like, it's just green in a very fresh way. But I think the fruits in here stand out a lot more than the green, in my experience. This has fragrance notes of pear, hibiscus seed, bergamot, and lemon. So it does come off very juicy, fruity. When you spray this on, the pear is very much there, and so are those citrus fruits. And then in the middle is kind of where you get the most greenness out of this fragrance with those green notes, the rhubarb, jasmine, and it also has strawberry. So again, with that fruity element. And then it does dry down to more of a sweeter scent because it does have Tahitian vanilla and ambrette and a little bit musky. So it's a really well-rounded fragrance, and for a Thierry Mugler fragrance, it's actually not that polarizing. It is honestly something I find to be very lovely. Like, it's a really, really pretty, ethereal, kind of whimsical type of scent, and the packaging is just unreal. Like, I still want to keep it purely because of the packaging, but I have not used this. Like, do you guys see how full that is? I have not used it at all. I just love to look at it, but that is not a good enough reason to waste a perfume. So one of you guys can give this the love that it deserves. Okay, and then this is the last sort of more designer fragrance that I'm getting rid of. Actually, no. I take that back. I have another one that's a lot more high-end than even all of these. But this is COCO Mademoiselle by Chanel. I'm finally getting rid of this. How many of you guys have watched my channel, and every single time I have talked about this in any video, I'm like, I don't like this, but I keep it around just because it reminds me of my mom. I literally say that every single time I talk about this. I have not used this once. I may have used it once just like when I got it, but as you can see, it is very much full because I just don't use it. I like to just go into my collection every once in a while to just take it out and smell it, and I'm like, oh yeah, that reminds me of my mom. But my mom doesn't even wear this anymore, so it just reminds me of when she used to wear it. My mom wears different fragrances. Like, even she got tired of this fragrance because she used to wear it for so many years. And this is a really nice fragrance, and Coco Mademoiselle is, like, it smells like money. Even now, I can admit it smells so expensive and just like rich and luxurious, and like this smells like old money, you know what I mean? And it's a nice scent, but I don't know, I just don't use it. It's a bit more of a mature scent. There's a lot of patchouli in it. It's also sweet at the same time. Like, I feel like for a Chanel fragrance, this is one of the most tame, most loved Chanel fragrances, because Chanel tends to do a lot of really, really mature fragrances. This one is, I feel like, the most loved. And then I'm getting rid of this, which this is another one. I mean, the packaging of this is just on another level. This is a Fragrance du Bois fragrance. Ooh. I did abs yesterday and it hurts to cough. So this is a Fragrance du Bois fragrance, and the packaging of this is just, I mean, it's a niche, higher end, very luxurious fragrance, so it'll give you very luxurious packaging, but I've not once used this. I never will. I could give this to my mom or any of my friends, but this is not anybody that I know's cup of tea. I feel like if you are one of those people that likes scents that don't smell like any other perfume and you just like to smell unique, like that is your niche. Like you don't like to smell like everybody else, you want to have your own fragrance, something that's really unique, maybe strong, maybe that fills up a room, maybe that is like a signature scent that's never been done before. I feel like that's this fragrance. This fragrance weighs like 75 pounds. It's like truly like the thickest, most luxurious glass ever, but this is the fragrance called CAVORT. This is a unisex fragrance, so if you are a guy watching me, you can also use this because there's nothing really girly about it or really too masculine. This fragrance also smells really, really expensive. This reminds me of like New York. Like I went to New York a couple months ago and I feel like this is what the streets of New York smell like. It's like a very perfumey scent. Like, you know, when you walk past somebody and they're like wearing a perfume, you're like, whoa, that like smells really good. I think there's a lot of patchouli in here, some type of muskiness, but there's also some sweetness in it as well. It is a really good fragrance, but it's definitely very unique and it kind of has like an animalic vibe to it. It's very spicy, so if that's your vibe, this is gonna be a great fragrance for you. I mean, the presentation of it is just like on another level. I have not used this once. It's a very bold fragrance, and although I am somebody that really loves bold fragrances, this is just, it wasn't my cup of tea, but I'm sure somebody will really, really enjoy this because it is overall just a stunning scent. Okay, so that was my last more higher end fragrance. Now the rest of these are more affordable fragrances. So I think now I'm gonna get into all of the celebrity perfumes that I'm getting rid of because it's a lot. Most of it is by Britney Spears. Ever since I did my Britney Spears video that I did like not too long ago, I did a whole dedicated video for all of my Britney Spears perfume collection. If you want to see that, I will link it up in the cards. But after that video, I even told you then that I had a lot of scents in my collection from Britney Spears that I truly held onto just because I wanted to make that collection video. But a lot of those fragrances I just didn't use. So I kept like the core ones that I really, really love from her line. And then these three, they're not scents that I don't like because I love every single one of these. But the reason why I'm getting rid of them is honestly just because I had scents like them in my collection and then I just never used these. Like I'd rather use the other scents that smell like these. So the first one is going to be kind of shocking because I remember when I hauled this, I really, really loved it and I still really love it. I think it's a gorgeous fragrance, especially for this being a celebrity scent. This literally smells like a designer scent that's coming out right now. And that's partly why I'm getting rid of it, is because I have the fragrances that this smells like. I feel like this is a perfect mixture of Libre by YSL as well as Valentino Donna Born in Roma as well as Prada Paradox. It's like a combination of those three. Like I know this is supposed to be a flanker of the Fantasy line, but out of all the Fantasy fragrances that I've smelled, this has nothing to do with the original Fantasy. Like I said, it's just one of those other fragrances that I just talked about. It smells complex and yeah, very much gives off like current designer vibes type of thing. It's a very crowd-pleasing scent, and this is a full-size bottle. I have barely used it. It is full to the brim. Right, and then the next scent I'm getting rid of by Britney Spears is Glitter Fantasy. So another flanker to the Fantasy line. This one is really pretty. This one does have a lot of correlation to the original Fantasy, so it's like that tart, kiwi, cupcakey, sweet fragrance. It still has that scent, but this one is a lot more berry-like. I believe there's a lot more berries in here, like strawberry, berries, just berry. Basically, think of the original Fantasy, just more berry-like. And that was the appeal for me because I love berry scents, so that's why I held on to it for so long. But I only wore it maybe like 2 times, and I liked it, but I just never wore it. And then the last Britney fragrance I'm getting rid of is Prerogative. Prerogative is super similar to Private Show in my opinion, and I love Private Show and I have Private Show and I really, really enjoy that fragrance. But the reason why I'm getting rid of Prerogative specifically is because it just reminds me a lot of Vanilla Sky by Skylar and Black Opium by YSL. It's like that coffee, sweet, creamy, vanilla type of scent. It's a really nice scent, don't get me wrong, and it smells really good. It also smells like a scent that is not a celebrity scent. Like there is complexity to it, but I have scents like it in my collection. I absolutely never use it. Clearly, it is full. So those are all of my Britney Spears scents I'm getting rid of. And then the last celebrity fragrance I'm getting rid of is actually by Ariana Grande. I never thought I would get to the point where I would declutter one of my Ariana Grande scents because I love, like, her scents. I'm just so obsessed with. Ari was the first perfume that I've ever used. Not that I've ever used, because I used perfumes before that, but it was one of the first perfumes that I ever started to use when I first started getting, like, really into fragrances. So Ari just holds a special place in my heart, and I've loved almost every single one of her fragrances that have come after the point. But this one was a scent that I just don't use, and I think this one smells really, really similar to her other scents, and that is Moonlight. I love, love, love the packaging. What is this called? Duochrome Iridescence. I don't know what it's called, but I love it. The little lilac little poof. I love this. Like, I love everything about the presentation of it. But I think this one is way too similar to Ari and Sweet Like Candy. Yes, there's differences, but they're very minor. And the differences are the reason why I just like this one the least. I feel like this one smells way, I don't want to say way too powdery, but there's just like a powdery kick in here that I don't love as much as I love it in Ari and Sweet Like Candy, if that makes sense. It's still really creamy. It's still got that, like, whipped cream, marshmallow, sweet vibe. It has the DNA of, like, Ari and Sweet Like Candy, in my opinion. It's just a little bit different, and it does have blackcurrant and plum in it, which I normally really, really love, but I don't know. It just comes off way too powdery. I keep saying that. So because I just never use this, and honestly I think the reason why I've kept it for so long was just because I wanted to have, like, every single one of her fragrances. But I did make a whole Ariana Grande collection video, and that video actually did really good on my channel. So if you want to see that, I will also link that up in the cards. But I can't just hold on to a fragrance for the sense of, like, having the whole collection, but, like, not actually using it. And I do use all of her other fragrances a lot, and I love them. This is just the one that never gets used. That is it for the celebrity fragrances and the more higher end fragrances. Now the rest of these are just more affordable fragrances. So the first one I'm getting rid of is ESCADA Candy Love. I was so excited to find this fragrance, and I honestly really liked this fragrance when I did use it, but there is something in it that, it's not that I don't like it, but I have fragrances like it that I think do this type of scent better, if that makes sense. So Candy Love is like a really sweet, creamy candy apple sort of scent with, like, a whipped cream and vanilla base. So it's very sweet, obviously, and kind of, like, sugary. But to me, it just comes off a little bit more fruitier than I would want. Like, I just wish I had a little bit more depth to it. But I'll tell you this right now, this is a great dupe to Kayali Eden Juicy Apple. I think they smell very, very similar. It also reminds me of Ariana Grande's Thank You Next 2.0, which also smells like Kayali Eden. So if you like any of those scents, this is a great kind of baby of those type of scents. It's like that candy apple, sweet, sugary type of scent. But I have Thank You Next 2.0, I have Kayali Eden, and I use those way, 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 way more than I use this. This scent is kind of shocking, and at first I wasn't gonna get rid of it, but then I'm like, I don't think I'm ever gonna use this, and I haven't really ever since I hauled it, which was not too long ago. But this is Elizabeth Taylor White Diamonds in Rouge. I included this, I don't know if I ever even, no, I think I did a haul of this, but I also included it before the haul in a dupes video, because White Diamonds in Rouge is actually, like, an amazing dupe to Giorgio Armani C, which is personally one of my favorite fragrances. It's like a very sexy, bold, rich fragrance, and I love it. It smells like red wine. This is almost, like, identical to Giorgio Armani C. The sprayer is so nice too. Like, it has a really nice sprayer. I would say the difference is, this is a little bit more rosy, and it has a little bit more of a green vibe to it, slightly. Like, these are very, very minor differences, so don't think of these as, like, major, major differences, but those are, like, the differences that I pick up, and those are not bad. I'm not getting rid of this scent because I don't like it, because I truly, really, 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 really do, but I find myself using, like, if I want to wear this type of scent, I just go towards Giorgio Armani C way more often than I go towards this. Even in the short amount of time that I've had it, I just really wanted to be strict, and so I'm gonna part ways with this. But it is a really good one, and it smells So freaking expensive. And then this is another fairly newish fragrance, but I'm getting rid of it because I just have so many of these types of scents in my collection. These are like my favorite type of scents because they're like these sweet, slightly powdery, berry-like, vanilla-y type of scents. But literally like 90% of my collection is made up of those type of scents. So this is just the one that I use the least. And it's pretty new to my collection, but I found that I never, ever went close to it. And that is Kenneth Cole Blush. I recently-ish hauled this and it's a very pretty fragrance. It's like sugary, it's berry-like, it dries off on like vanilla. It is so, so pretty. I really, really enjoy it, but I have so many. It reminds me of Ari, like it's in that sort of scent family, but I feel like this is a little bit more complex than Ari is. Like it's not as juvenile. It's slightly a bit more sexy. I feel like it's like Ari's sexier sister. I just don't use it. It smells amazing. Like smells great. Nothing bad to say about it. It's a very pink fragrance. If you're a sweet lover and you like scents like Ari, you like scents like Vive la Juicy, Noir, I would say like a little bit more berry-like, then I think this would be a scent that you would really, really like. It's just I literally have a million of these scents in my collection. This next fragrance is straight up brand new. I literally have it in the packaging. I've barely used it ever since I got it. This is Coach Poppy. Now, this is kind of confusing to me because I don't know if this is Coach Poppy or if it's a flanker. If it is a flanker, I cannot find any information of this specific flanker online. But this is Coach Poppy Crush. I'm not sure. It looks like this. It looks exactly like Coach Poppy, but I think it's just like pink. It's a pretty fragrance, but it's a little lackluster. It's a really pretty scent, but it's just really fruity, kind of fresh. There's actually cucumber in here, which I really, really smell. Like, it's like a very fresh scent. Like, think of like what's the scent? Cucumber and I don't know what it is, but it's that Dove body wash. I love it. It's one of my favorite body washes. It makes me feel so clean and refreshed out the shower. This is literally it in like perfume form, but it's a little bit more like perfumey. It doesn't just smell like soap and body wash. It's a little bit more complex than that, but because of that cucumber, it reminds me a lot of that scent. I mean, it's a nice scent overall. It's just kind of, I like sweeter scents, if that makes sense. There's actually marshmallow in here, weirdly enough, and there's also vanilla in the base, so you would think it'd be like creamy and super, super sweet. And I mean, it is kind of sweet, but I feel like it maintains the freshness a lot more than it has sweetness. So for that reason, I'm getting rid of it, because I do have fresh scents in my collection that I really, really love, but I'm very specific about the kind of fresh scents that I like. And although I like this, I don't love it, and I don't think I'd ever use it if I were to keep it. Next, I'm getting rid of Oscar de la Renta Bella Essence. This fragrance, I held on to it for a good amount of time because I thought I really, really liked it, and I'm still iffy about it. Like, I don't know if I like it or if I don't like it. I just, it's like such a weird fragrance to me. But lately, because I've been kind of like on the fence, and I haven't wanted to be on the fence with my fragrances, like I want to be very, you know, black and white. I either like this or I don't, and if I don't, it's gone. So for that reason, I've been going into scents that I don't really wear too often, and I've been wearing them in the past week, and this was one of them. And every time I wore it, I'm like, at first I would really, really like it, then after a while it would start to give me a headache, and there was just something that I didn't love in it. Like, I would constantly smell it, and it was one of those scents where you smell it so much and you kind of get sick of it, if that makes sense. I mean, I have a lot of really strong scents in my collection that I wear and I can smell them throughout the day, but I don't get annoyed from like smelling the scents throughout the day. And with this one, after a while of wearing it, I would just kind of get over the scent. It smells really nice. I don't know how to explain it. There's like ambroxan in here. There's like a muskiness, and it kind of reminds me of those kinds of scents that, you know, you wear and they smell different on everybody because of their like musky and that ambroxan. It tends to just smell different on your body chemistry. It's kind of sweet, it's kind of tart, it has like this sour quality to it, it is fruity. And as far as like fragrance references, if you guys have Fancy Love by Jessica Simpson, which I used to have, which I actually got rid of because I had this fragrance, and I'm like, you know, I don't need two of these scents. I already don't love the kind of scent profile of this, so I was like, I'd rather get rid of Fancy Love. And so I kept this one, but then after wearing this one, I'm like, I don't think I even like this scent. So yeah, for that reason, I'm getting rid of it. I'm getting rid of a Juicy Couture fragrance. This is I Love Juicy Couture. I recently spoke about this in my dupes video. If you guys watched that, my affordable perfumes that smell like expensive perfumes dupe video, because this fragrance smells almost identical to me to Gucci Floral Gorgeous Gardenia, which I have in my collection somewhere. I think it's like all the way up there. Oh no, it's here. I have Gucci Floral Gorgeous Gardenia, and that's not even a fragrance that I wear all the time to begin with. So after having this so long in my collection, and I really like the scent profile. It's kind of tart. It has candy apple in it. It has red currant. It has orange, it has some white florals, but really nice white florals like jasmine, which I really love. And in the base you get patchouli. The patchouli is prominent in here, but it's a really smooth type of patchouli. It's almost like creamy. It doesn't smell dirty. It doesn't overshadow the fragrance is what I'm trying to say. It's also a really good performing fragrance. I feel like this almost outperforms Gucci Flora Gorgeous Gardenia. I've just held on to it for so long and haven't used much of it, as you can tell. The next fragrance I'm getting rid of is actually a ZARA perfume. And if you guys seen my past 2 perfume declutters, I had a couple ZARA fragrances, I think in both of those videos or maybe in one. I can't recall right now, but I said in those videos that I was done decluttering my ZARA collection because I was really happy with it. But after going in and really smelling some of those scents that I haven't used that much, I went in there one more time and I'm gonna get rid of ZARA's NUIT. It's a really nice scent, but I found that it was a scent profile of scents that I have. And to begin with, this isn't really a scent that I would wear all year round. So already it doesn't get much use, but also the fact that it smells like other perfumes that I use over this, I'm just not gonna use it. To me, NUIT smells like kind of a variation of Hypnotic Poison by Dior. It's a little bit tamer. It's not as strong as Hypnotic Poison, but it's very similar. The only thing I don't love about this that much is that I feel like this is a lot more powdery than Hypnotic Poison is to me, which I feel like makes this kind of mature smelling. But I don't know, like I don't want that to come off bad because I do hear amazing, like incredible things about this scent, and I do find it really sexy and kind of dark and mysterious, and I love those scents typically, but I don't know, there's just something about it. Like if I were to keep one of these scents, it would definitely be Hypnotic Poison. I just don't ever really use it. But now that this is out of my collection, now I'm happy with my ZARA collection. Like I think I have about 4 or 5 fragrances in my ZARA collection, and I love every single one of them. I wear every single one of them. This was kind of like the last one where I was just keeping around to see how I felt about it, but ultimately I'm like, yeah, no, it's not gonna work. And then the last 2 fragrances, you might be a little shocked because I've recently talked about these as well. I think I'm gonna list these 2 as one because they're so inexpensive, so I think I'm just gonna pair them together for like 20 bucks. These are by Charlotte Russe. This is the original Refuge, and then I'm getting rid of Refuge Nights, which I really like this one. If you saw my haul video where I hauled these, I am keeping Refuge Adore, I believe that's what it's called, because out of all these Refuge fragrances that I tried, that was my favorite. I feel like it gave a lot more complexity than the others. And I did really like the Nights version as well, but this one smells very similar to Lolita Lampica in my opinion, which I love, and I wear that so much, and I just feel like I love that fragrance so much I would never go to like a dupe of it because I just feel like, you know, that's the best for me. I also think this is very similar to Dazzle by Paris Hilton because it has that cherry licoricey sweet vibe. It's really sexy. I really love this scent, but yeah, never gonna use it. And then as far as this original Refuge one, I just feel like it's just too fresh for me. I said that it would be a good gym scent, and I still think that, like, it is a really nice fruity, fresh. This is another one that kind of reminds me of that Cucumber body wash by Dove. Like very similar to it. It's just a very fresh and like uplifting, refreshing type of scent. But I already have kind of like my go-to gym scents that I wear all the time, and I'm pretty good with those. Like I really love the ones that I use, and it's just not gonna get used. It's very much of like a body spray smelling scent that is more like a refresher rather than a scent I would find myself using like every day. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys liked it. I know I've been doing so many declutters, but truly I am very happy with my collection. Even though it's still huge, it is nowhere near how horribly huge it was before, and I hope that these perfumes can go to somebody that will actually give them the love and the use that they deserve, because they are all really great perfumes. So yeah, once again, all of these will be listed on my Mercari. I will have my Mercari link down below if you're interested in buying any of these. But that is it for me today. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.